For any viewer of this channel, you probably know I like a certain monster fighting game franchise from the 90s called Darkstalkers. And if you're not a viewer of this channel, hi, I'm MrTopTenList. I like Darkstalkers. In their subpar spin-off cartoon, not much was memorable, but there was one reoccurring joke that stuck with me and some niche meme culture later on, and that's when characters met the fish creature Rikuo, they felt the need to tell him that he was strangely attractive for a fishman in some form. They just dropped it in the middle of conversation.
Oh, you're almost pretty. For a fishman.
Even though you are curiously attractive for a scaly freak.
I know your heart. It is filled with darkness, even though you are curiously attractive for a fishman.
So, inspired by me bringing up that joke a lot, why not do our own list of characters that we feel are strangely attractive in fighting games? Now, since I wanted to get a different perspective from my own interests, I asked my community who they might put here for this topic, and I got over 130 comments, so there was some passion. And because of that, every entry will be from suggestions I got. Some will be characters I liked the explanation of by the commenter, others will be ones where I saw the comment and I was like, hey, wait, I do think this character's attractive. I won't show the comments on screen since I don't know if people want that, but if you did suggest a character that I picked, comment on this video and I'll reply probably. And to everyone else, comment still, we like those. Also like and subscribe. And of course, one character per series of origin. Now, let's admire the top 10 strangely attractive characters in fighting games. Number 10, Tawakaka from BlazBlue. I was sorta hoping someone would go hog wild and say Arakune for the BlazBlue rep, but I did see a suggestion for Tawakaka, and I get why that feels right for the list, but it is easy mode for me. Still, she makes the list. On the surface, she's a creature that doesn't seem like she should be attractive. She has human legs, but the rest of the body is just a giant coat with everything else covered and retractable claws. We do see some pigtail holes for style, so there is a concept of hair here, but the real weird appeal is the face. It's shrouded in shadow, with the sharp toothy grin and red circle eyes being the only things visible. Surely you would go for any of the BlazBlue characters that have human faces instead of a creature that has no face, right? That being said, I put her as the lowest entry since the strange aspect is pretty minimal overall. There is a bit of concept art and plenty of fan art that shows more of Tawakaka's body and it looks pretty normal. She doesn't wear pants, which is a decision I respect. Still, we never see her face no matter what. Even if she's on the beach, the hood stays on and that face is shrouded in darkness. But you know, I actually like that. I like the concept of her just always having the shadow face, but having a normal human body that doesn't wear pants underneath. I think it's because she's goofy and friendly. If she wanted to murder me like that, not really my thing. But I'm all for the appeal of a silly shadow lady who's a human cat. Oh, by the way, she's a cat girl. Don't think I mentioned that. Cat women are not really a make or break for me, but my icon is Felicia from Darkstalkers on a lot of my social media, so I do feel connected to the archetype.
Tawakaka wins!
Number 9, Hakan from Street Fighter. For Street Fighter, I'd say it's hard to call most of the characters strangely attractive, since they stay in the realm of human looking unless you get really abstract with ones like Q or 12. But everyone else, I can see an argument being made pretty easily, especially with the pseudo-realism of Street Fighter 6. However, there were a few good suggestions from the series. Someone said Seth, which I could see his featureless human-shaped body in Street Fighter 4 being strangely attractive, but then Street Fighter 5 made Seth really hot where I don't even see it being strange. So let's move on to the next suggestion, Necro. For the sole reason that I haven't spoken about Necro in a video since 2016, I like it. He does some weird things and has an unconventional pure white skin tone, but he has toned muscles and some attractive edgy anime boy features that you don't really notice because he's a pale electric stretchy man. Also, his girlfriend Effie definitely makes them a power couple. But that all went out the door when somebody suggested Hakan for this video. I was like, sold. Any excuse for me to talk about Hakan, I'm there. He might be a top 5 Street Fighter character for me. And I do understand the strange appeal of Hakan being sexy. He's a buff Turkish oil wrestler. On the surface when fighting, he just seems like a silly man with his beet red skin, turquoise boy's hair and he's covered in oil, causing him to slip. He uses some Three Stooges strategies with him slipping and sliding around during the fight, and he's doing the same with his opponent. But beyond the goofiness, when you see him close up, he's actually got a lot of features that go unnoticed, like his perfectly chiseled jawline, or his skin-tight pants, or his toned physique. Look at him rub oil on his biceps. Like if he wasn't bright red and turquoise, I might have not even questioned anything about finding him attractive. I don't remember if they ever confirmed why he's red, but I think the explanation was that he's covered in oil all the time for his fighting, so it attracts more UV light and he gets sunburned. Still doesn't explain his hair color, but I've always been 50-50 if that's actually his hair or a strange helmet, since we see all his kids wearing something similar. Or maybe his kids are wearing helmets based on his hair, I don't know. Also, the oil. He's constantly oiled up, so if you like oiled up muscles, I don't know who can do it better. Even without taking his physical appearance into consideration, he's got some quality backstory that makes him appealing as a partner. He owns an olive oil business, so he's ambitious regarding his career, and he's a wonderful father who loves all of his daughters and even has them pose with him on his official art. So who doesn't love someone who went home and became a family man? Also, we know nothing about his wife outside of that she is very attractive, but if she has any fighting prowess, we need to suggest her for future Street Fighter games. And if she doesn't, we at least need to get more fan art of her. Anyway, Hakan, put him in whatever Street Fighter game is out at the time that you're watching this video, and if he is in it, then I'm probably playing him right now. Number 8. Son Son from Marvel vs. Capcom 2. I saw a few suggestions for Son Son, and I was like, I can dig it. She's the granddaughter of a character by the same name, who is a parody of Son Wukong the Monkey King in a game of the same name in the 1980s by Capcom, and she was made specifically for this crossover because it's fun. She's basically a lady version of Son Wukong, which is something that never crossed my desires, but once again, people suggesting her made me say, oh wait, she is cute. If the Tawakaka segment didn't tip you off, I like a bit of goofy with a character that's strangely attractive. I think this one comes more with the unexpected nature of it. Like, yeah, a more humanoid monkey-themed character could work on paper for this topic, but I just wasn't expecting it to be a version of Son Wukong, unless it's Kareen from Voltage Fighter Go Kaiser. How about that for an obscure game? However, what really cemented her for this list is she has a butt pat taunt where she really goes in on the butt pose. It has that Yuri Sakazaki effect where I'm like, yeah, face your butt towards me and slap it, that'll sure show me. That being said, if you like Son Son in this state, then you also have to accept her in her Mega Monkey form from her super move. I wish I could say this form is strangely attractive to me too to really drive in the surprise, but it's not really my thing. However, I know someone out there has to prefer this form over the other one, so I'm going to pretend I know who that is to further justify her being here. Number 7. Mileena from Mortal Kombat. You might have expected her to be number 1, and she was probably the most requested character, including one of my favorite characters across all fighting games, and because of all that, I wanted to give her list representation, but I still can't put her too high, since they made her intentionally attractive minus one feature. Mileena's big gimmick is she has the same body as her sister / person she was cloned from, Kitana, and she uses her feminine wiles to lure in prey, only to reveal that she actually has horrifying sharp teeth. Or maybe attractive sharp teeth? Her DNA was mixed with that of a Tarkatan, who's the goblin monster species of Mortal Kombat, and it caused her body to mutate, but only in the face. People claim the teeth actually make her better, so if that's why people actually love her, you know, spot on the list. Their reaction reminds me of that clip from American Dragon Jake Long, where Brad the Jock is at the kissing booth, and then the normal woman transforms into the creature with the alien pop-out mouth, but Brad instead gets all sly and says, jackpot. Early versions of Mileena keep the teeth at a distance, only revealing it during fatalities, so it was hard to see it as scary or pretty, it was more just campy. I think Mortal Kombat Deception is when they started showing Mileena's mouth on center stage more, not so much in her moveset in that game, but she was used a lot in the game's marketing. On official art, which was also a collector's edition cover, the mask was transparent transparent enough where you could see that mouth looming. Her maskless model was extra creepy to me back in the day. I think the voice acting also helped. Mortal Kombat 2011, aka Mortal Kombat 9, is also a design I want to focus on. Mileena now had an attack where she starts to munch on the opponent, and of all of her appearances, it had Mileena act the most sexual in her movements and voice lines to contrast the horrifying teeth, which is a very fun version of the character.
Well, good for you. Don't be mad.
Her story characterization was weak, but as someone who dedicated many hours to this game, and you have no idea how much time I put into Mileena, the gameplay appearance and in-fight mannerisms of her made Mortal Kombat 9 Mileena my favorite Mileena. I do prefer her storylines prior to Mortal Kombat 9, and her outfit in Mortal Kombat X, love those pants, but the monster face was perfect here. I love how the skin was all distorted by the teeth, and they actually gave her monster eyes here. Like those eyes staring at you before you even know about the teeth should tip you off that something's wrong about her. Also, her nose is Tarkatan, but no one ever points that out. I know the teeth are the big strange appeal of Mileena, but don't sleep on those eyes, they're pretty cool. Now to rapid fire the later games, Mortal Kombat 1 had the mouth split apart at the bottom lip, Mortal Kombat 11 made it gory around the teeth as if she ripped off the mouth on top of it, and Mortal Kombat X gave her lips for the most normal looking Mileena ever. But Mortal Kombat 9 will always be that strangely and not so strangely attractive Mileena to me. Hey, anyone want to see the fan cam I made for her as a gag in another video? Actually, that's not a question, I'm playing it now. Oh, she's sweet but a psycho, a little bit psycho. At night she's screaming, I'm a mama out of my mind. Ah, terrific. Mileena's great, isn't she?
Mileena wins.
Number 6, Wii Fit Trainer from Super Smash Bros. This might be another easy mode one, but I don't care. When someone suggested her, I was like, instant smash. I know most of the characters on this list have a creature vibe to them, and here I am just suggesting a normal woman, but you gotta remember, this was supposed to be a partially featureless human who was just meant to show us the motions of an exercise on the game Wii Fit. But then Smash Bros turned her into a conceptual joke character by making her fight with workout moves. That moveset was legit though, that was not a joke, but taking the figure from this game and making her a character was insanely creative. In terms of the strange part of strangely attractive, well, she's like a mannequin. She's pure white and has vague features of a human face, but they didn't fully detail them because she's meant for model posing, not just a model in general. Like her eyes are just indents on her face to look like eyes. That being said, I don't know, they made her kinda cute. Maybe I just like yoga pants, or that ponytail, or when she gives me a thumbs up. I think the real reason though is the internet corrupted her with fan art that has given me a much different vision of her. Especially this one version of her where she's, well, that's not for talking about right now. But the point is, I don't think this character was created with the idea of being attractive in mind, so good job at accidentally creating the hottest Smash Bros lady.
Good posture begins with a strong base.
Number 5, Rikuo from Darkstalkers. When a character inspires a list, I either give them number 1, or I go with number 5 since it's right in the middle of the list as an establishing point for the topic, but it walked so others could run and perfect it. Rikuo inspired the curiously attractiveness of fighting game characters, and we've also had about 30 years to build upon it, but there's no doubt we could not do it without him making characters question what they were into. I mentioned it in the intro, but that joke from the Darkstalkers cartoon is gold. It's not even so bad that it's good, it's just good.
I do not believe you, though you are strangely attractive for a fishman.
Just what I like in a man. Curiously attractive and dumb.
You are curiously attractive for a fishman. So I've been told.
Like, characters are just compelled to drop whatever they're talking about and tell him in some form that he's attractive and they were not expecting him to be. Is it the fish or man part that is strangely attractive though? Like, were they not expecting all the fish stuff to make them feel anything? Or were his more human features like his perfect chin or firm butt what sold them on him? Regardless, this joke burned Rikuo into my memory as the poster boy for this topic. Hard to say if I would think the same about him without the joke and just had the game, games, but I think he had some appeal in game. If you like guys with just a little fish creature to them, he's got that with his humanoid physique and gentle features. Like every close-up on him before and after the fight is just him doing some majestic pose or having his handsome face on. Also that one interpretive dance he does. And fret not if you want more fish in your attractiveness, since he can turn into basically any aquatic creature under the sun. He's got fishy parts, crabby parts, amphibious parts. I feel like that tongue would sell a lot of people on him. Also when he wins, he can do this peacock move and flex to show his weird fish thingies. In addition, there are some other fish folk in this series if you so desire, just in his arcade mode endings. I like his wife's design, I can very much get behind this. And as with the Hakan segment, if you like a family man, Rikuo has a whole lot of eggs he's looking after. Number 4, Hisako from Killer Instinct. I'm totally on board with this one. Hisako is cute. If she didn't have any of the creepy ghost effects, she would look like your average blue woman with inverted eye colors and sharp teeth. She's an Onryo, which is a ghost out for revenge, in this case, against anyone who desecrates the shrine in her village after she was killed there by invaders, so now she lays guard. With the revived powers, she now blinks in and out of reality, crawls on all fours in an unconventional manner, possesses people, and stretches her mouth out as far as she can while roaring at you. However, when she's more calmly telling you that she just needs her revenge, she looks pretty nice. I'm down to say Hisako is an attractive woman. Even when she's screeching and whatnot, I'm like, you know what, she still has nice eyes. If the lady wants to be creepy, let her be a little creepy. I'm sure it's a fun time if you just get tea with her. Number 3, Yoshimitsu from Tekken and Soul Calibur. This one sounds like a gag suggestion since no one knows what Yoshimitsu's real face or body looks like with that increasingly elaborate armor in each game, but when I asked for a follow-up, I appreciated hearing how that armor might be a sexy thing. What can I say? His fans love a man in uniform. The main one for Tekken that was highlighted was his Tekken 7 outfit, which is his tentacle costume. I feel this one is self-explanatory, though I honestly never thought of that costume in this fashion, but yeah, now that someone said it, it's obvious. Tentacle Monster fans rejoice. On the Soul Calibur side, someone said Soul Calibur 6, and once again, I get it. He still has the Oni armor theme that's present in a lot of his costumes, but it feels thinner and more skin tight here, so I guess it's more like sexy armor. You can kinda make out his pecs and abs of the armor. If you look at how close all that armor is to his body, it makes you realize just how much he was wearing in every other appearance. But then that got me thinking, if you have specialty things that you're attracted to, Yoshimitsu might be your one-stop shop for whatever that is. He's been a bug, Oni, skeleton man, robot skeleton man. He likes variations on the skull face. It's not like he's been every creature, but when he likes a theme, he stays with a rotation. Still, I think the Tekken 7 and Soul Calibur 6 outfits have the most attractive aura to them, but the fact that those costumes made me look through the rest of his outfits in this light was enough to score him a spot on this list.
Ninja Sunflower! Deliver me your soul! KO! Treasure, let me guide you to hell! Shikisoku! Seku!
Number 2, Neko Arc from Melty Blood. She keeps on appearing in my videos and I don't think that's stopping anytime soon. Legitimately, what a fun character. A cartoon Catwoman who breaks reality since she can summon clones of herself and she acts silly while doing it. And with this list topic, you might wonder why she's here. Well, a lot of people apparently like Neko Arc in that way and I cannot explain it, yet I kinda get it. Even though she just has chibi cartoon proportions, people give her the Midna treatment from Legend of Zelda, where they view her as a short stack or petite woman. I have seen so much Neko Arc fan art that confirms this, and I cannot show it to you because we're on YouTube, so I hope that you can trust me. In fact, here's my friend Rika Reedman with a meme about it.
Arcwade has boobs, canonically has sex, is one of the main characters, 576 tags on certain websites. Neko Arc, no boobs, no sex, comedy character. Double the posts on certain websites. I might clip this and show this in the Neko Arc segment. You know what? I give you full permission. Do it. For some reason, people just really, really like Neko Arc. I don't know why.
The fan art is what really inspired me to put her on this list, since without it, probably not even a second thought for this topic. I also think her gremlin energy helps her out, since people love a silly gal and she brings so much silliness. She has like a dozen dances ready and just blasts off when she feels like it. Some of her idol poses also have that sophisticated energy that might drive some people batty, specifically the swishing of the wine glass with glasses on. Now you know you can take her out to a fancy restaurant for a bottle of wine on date night. Now if you asked me what might be her most strangely attractive trait, I'd say it's the voice, at least in Melty Blood type Lumina. I was expecting some high-pitched Meowth style voice, but instead it's this deep and sultry voice which stopped me in my tracks the first time I heard it, in part because it was unexpected, but also because I was like, oh, hello Neko Arc.
マシ君、同じアニマル属性として一つだけ忠告しておこう。ね、いい子しょ。軍内、さよなら未練。夢の世界でデトックスだぜ。
It still has a bit of that nyan nyan cat vibe to it, but if a grown-ass woman was doing it rather than a kawaii chibi cat girl. So in the end, I get it. Keep on doing your thing, Neko Arc fans. You make it hard for me to see the goofiness the same way again.
なるほど。レイト、アークドライブフィニッシュ。飯はニャカオじゃないのか。
For number 1, I picked the weirdest suggestion anyone made that had a justification. It shocked, confused, and intrigued me. I'm still mostly confused, but hey, it's a curveball I needed for number 1. Double from Skullgirls. What? How? This really is not a gag? Double from Skullgirls is a blob creature who works for a force outside the universe called the Trinity. She's essentially an agent for them to make sure that someone can unleash chaos as the Skullgirl. She does this by tempting people with the Skull Heart, which grants a wish and turns the wisher into the Skullgirl if that wish is not 100% pure of heart. For max deception, Double can shapeshift. She can turn into people to get close to others that she needs to tempt with or distract from the Skull Heart, and for fighting, she can create perfect replicas of other characters on the roster, which she combines for a single moveset. So at first, it sounds like I'm going to say she can be any character imaginable, so that's why she's attractive. But no, the commenter specifically said the blob or true form of Double, which is present in all of her movements during battle when not attacking, along with being her offensive form in the story mode. And when staring at it, I'm pretty much at a loss for words since I can't see anything. There's no shape to analyze. It's goo. It's goo with human-shaped parts coming out of it, but I guess when she's standing, I do kinda see that pear shape to her, and I respect that vision. When Double needs a human-like form, she's this white veiny lady with various extensions. You see it when she blocks, and in her story mode when she's absorbing all the characters in a rather horrifying scene. But at the same time, yeah, this scene might be why some people can get behind the idea of Double. It's not my thing, but I like to hear when it's other people's. A big reason I was able to understand the love for Double actually goes back to Batman Beyond. There was this character Ink, who was a goo woman that had a human-looking form and a more gooey form with limbs when she was idle. In one episode, she worked with a guy that was creepily obsessed with her being a goo woman and wanted to have a form like hers, so they worked together on a heist in exchange for her giving him a serum that would give him that goo form, but she betrays him because she did not tell him that he wouldn't know how to control it. Batman Beyond had a good amount of nightmare fuel. But the point is, this episode showed me at a young enough age, yeah, people like their indistinguishable goo women, and it was on TV for all to see at least once. So for reminding me of Batman Beyond and being the most horrifying creature on this list, I'll give it to Double as fighting game's most strangely attractive character.
Can I get a round of applause for our contestants?
Now, what did you think? Did all these characters have enough oddities to not make you think they should be attractive? Or are my tastes just too vanilla to dive into the deep end of this topic? And who are some of your favorite curiously attractive fighting game characters, whether I discussed them or not? Let me know in the comments. Anyway, thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next video.